If you find yourself shipwrecked and alone in Conanexiles, the new Barachan Castaway bundle lets you enjoy the solitary life of island luxury, even in dire circumstances. However, with a kinda hefty price tag yet a surprising amount of utility, is the set worth it? Today we're going to find out. Firstly, a disclaimer, this set was gifted to me by Funcom. Just like all my other reviews, that will in no way affect my opinions of this set, nor will it affect my recommendation or lack thereof. So without further ado, let's get started. The Barachan Castaway bundle comes in at 2,128 Crom Coins, which is roughly $17.70, so we'll just call it 18 bucks. The bundle includes the Barachan Castaway Outfit, the Hammock, the Bonfire, and the Icebox. So, let's begin with the Icebox. The Barachan Icebox is a shoulder-height placeable made from a ship's broken crow's nest, the inner section holding a huge pile of ice and various bottles. The placeable is rustic and gritty, the wood damaged and rough, and barnacles cover the nest itself and the bottles within. A fine icy mist drifts over the bottles, and water occasionally drips from it as the ice melts. The Icebox is a functional equivalent to the improved preserving box and costs 20 star metal, 2 insulated wood and 4 black ice to craft, the same as its base game equivalent. In terms of storage, it's a bit of a weird one. The improved preserving box can hold 40 item stacks, whereas the Icebox can hold up to 100. I don't know if this is intentional, it might be, but it might also not be. The Icebox is roughly the same footprint as 2 preserving boxes, so it might be by design, but there is still a 20 stack increase in that case, and the Icebox is cheaper to craft than 2 preserving boxes. The Icebox also has 500 health, whereas the preserving box has 5,000. We'll talk a bit more about this in depth before the final rating. Overall though, quite a nice design I think. Reasonably large but very unique, with quite a hefty storage space increase over the base improved fridge, at least at the time of recording. The Barachan Castaway Bonfire is a large bonfire made from a ship's hull, some debris and a mast. It's about 4 players tall and honestly has a really nice design. The piece is burnt and smouldering towards the bottom, with embers across the hull and on the fabric on the mast above. Additionally, it's also reminiscent of an anchor at a distance, which I think is a really nice design touch. The Barachan Bonfire is equivalent to the base game Bonfire, with a crafting cost of 200 wood and 25 twine. In terms of storage, it's a bit of a strange one again. The Barachan Bonfire can hold 100 item stacks, whereas the base game one can hold 40. Again, it's roughly the same footprint as 2 bonfires, but there is still the crafting cost disparity alongside the extra 20 stacks. The bonfire also has 500 HP, whereas the base game bonfire has 5,000. Again, we'll discuss this in a section specifically about the differences before the final rating. Of course, just for the avoidance of doubt, just like the bonfire, you can cook food here and place a cooking thrall on the station too. The bonfire is honestly a very nice placeable. I really like the design and style. It also pairs really well with the Icebox, as it looks like the crow's nest was quite literally just taken off of the mast, so the two have very good visual parity. Overall, pretty nice. The Barachan Hammock is an incredibly nice bed placeable strung between 2 trees. The hammock itself is made of rope, wood and a luxurious red and gold fabric, with a sheet of flotsam fabric acting as a sun cover and a jar of fireflies hanging nearby and various decorations hanging from and sat below the hammock, all supported by 2 palm trees. This item is the equivalent of the base game bed, costing 40 wood, 20 hide and 5 twine to craft. It also comes with an emote, so when you interact with the hammock you can lie inside it and sleep. You can also place thralls into the hammock to sleep, which is a rather nice touch. You also get 2/3 of shelter when sleeping inside the hammock. Overall, the hammock is nice and simple. The design is clean and cohesive and it just all works nicely together. The sleeping emote is the cherry atop the cake too, it adds a lot to this placeable. Also, if you're enjoying the video and want to see the next videos earlier than everyone else, alongside a bunch of other cool benefits, check out the Patreon linked in the description. You can also join as a free member to see preview posts of what's coming in the week ahead. Finally, the Castaway Outfit. This is a classless armour, meaning that it's not light, medium or heavy. It's more akin to coarse clothing in that it's not really designed for combat, more so for aesthetics. The armour values and crafting costs are on screen now, nothing too special to be honest, fairly cheap and definitely not ideal for combat. They're handcrafted in the inventory screen, and because they're classless you're able to transmog them with any tier of armour. In terms of design, the set has a leather loincloth with netting and a thigh wrap holding a sheathed dagger. There's also a waist wrap of rope and a white sash, with a net wrapped bra underneath on the female model, finished with a red headband. Not gonna lie, I think this armour is hideous, especially the loincloth. I think the set would have looked much nicer with shorts or trousers like in the other pirate sets, but that's just my opinion. I know not everyone hates it, but I do think it's rather ugly, unfortunately. Overall, the armour is pretty simple stuff, designed more for roleplay than combat. I'm really not a fan of the design, but it is cheap and easy to craft. As for bugs across this bundle, assuming the storage space is intentional, I actually haven't seen any bugs aside from the Bonfire and the Hammock not casting shadows for some reason, but that is a very minor issue. Aside from that, no other bugs, at least that I've found. So, given that I mentioned earlier that the Icebox and the Bonfire have much more storage space than their base game equivalents, the obvious question is probably going to be this: is the set pay to win? I really don't think so, at least not by the strict definition. I don't think you win anything by having a fridge or a bonfire that holds more stuff. Assuming the storage space is intentional, it's more pay for convenience as opposed to pay to win. I'll be honest, it doesn't bother me that much, but I can see people being unhappy about this, and not unreasonably so. It just doesn't bother me all that much. If the bonfire cooked food faster or made it heal more, then I'd have much more of an issue with it, but just extra storage space doesn't annoy me really. But if I'm being honest, I do wish it was exactly the same as the item it's aiming to be equivalent to, just to keep things fair. Ultimately, I don't think it's pay to win. It is definitely more down the alleyway of pay for convenience, but even then I don't think it's a massive deal. It could feel a little unfair, I guess, but also I don't really see anyone rushing to spend $18 just so they can fit a little more in their fridges. So, ultimate question then, is this bundle worth the price tag? In a word, no. The Bonfire, Icebox and Hammock are all quite nice, the Hammock especially, I think. The designs are nice and cohesive, and they just work well together or separately. My real pain point here aside from the price is the outfit. For me, I really don't like it. Of all the times I've criticised bundles before, I've most often said the designs are on point, and I feel like this is probably a rare miss on the aesthetics front. The Barachan Brigand set from the last Barachan bundle is a much nicer design, and I think had it been simplified down and made a little more rustic it would have been pretty good, but the Castaway outfit is pretty hideous in my opinion, and I just really don't like it. $18 is a pretty hefty price tag that I don't think the bundle quite matches, and the poor outfit design just really drags it down for me. The placeables are nice, but the armour's not great, and if we're being honest, the bundle just isn't anywhere close to the cost. That being said, I do appreciate the choice to actually add utility to the placeables. I assume they'd just be decorative, but it is nice having them as actual storage units and crafting stations, but I really do wish the storage space was just exactly the same as their base game counterparts, just to keep things fair. Anyway, that about wraps us up for today with my review of the new Barachan Castaway bundle. A good theme, I think, definitely good execution on the placeables, but really lacking on the outfit. I hope you found this review helpful. I imagine most will probably agree that it's pretty overpriced, but do let me know if you feel differently about the armour. Maybe it's just me, but to be honest, I just think it's really ugly. Thank you for watching, and of course, a massive thanks to our wonderful, esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Make sure you subscribe for more Conan reviews, guides, builds, news, lore videos and more, and don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed too. Take care, and I'll see you soon.